Alright, we're back for OSG's Napoleon invades Spain. The La Coruna scenario, which we have over here. In theory, it is now moving into the 6 p.m. turn for the French, but I've been doing some rules reviews and I have to do a correction here with respect to reorganization, specifically for the British. Just jumping here to the here we go, weather tables. Determine weather on the first turn of each day. Check again at 9 a.m. and every 3 turns thereafter. So weather is changing a lot here in Spain. So if we look at here, we were due for a weather change here. For some reason it's marked cloudy here, so I'm just going to go with that in the VASSAL scenario. But the important thing with the weather turn is here, each turn the weather is checked, both players will include a recovery segment. It doesn't apply to the French because they haven't lost any units, but obviously the British have. So what we need to do, or what I should have done at the beginning of last turn, is done the recovery segment, makes an initiative check for each unit in the awaiting recovery box. All British units that were eliminated did have retreat paths, so they went to the UAR, not permanently eliminated box. So we just rolled for initiative. And this VASSAL mod doesn't have, unlike the last Gamble one I had, it did have its own separate UAR, PEU charts, but I haven't been able to find them on this one. So we'll just go. These units have been eliminated, and it's just an initiative check against each to see if they're awaiting recovery. Now, to make sure I do this correctly, yeah, we did the weather. There is a weather segment. Why am I grabbing that? There we go. And I'll just say it's cloud. For some reason that was on this chart there. Supply segment. Phasing player must check supply, so everybody appears to be in supply. And then we have the recovery segment here. When weather is checked, phasing player may attempt recovery. So that would be our next thing to do. But let me circle back because I am getting used to these rules. Supply lines. So if we did look at the sequence of play, actually would have had a supply segment here. And it boils down to need to trace 14 hexes, no longer than 14 hexes, to a friendly supply source, formation baggage train located on a road or trail that is a trunk line, or to a friendly baggage train located on a road or trail hex that has a trunk line. Wow, to its own formation bag, to another. All right. For this scenario, it's rather simple. The British are fine. They're on a trunk line that can compose any number of connected road or trail hexes leading to a supply source. And actually the British, yeah, they're on their supply source there. So this even meets the criteria. So the British are easily in supply. I mean, literally they're on trunk lines, but they're also easily within 14 hexes. The French, let's see what we got here. French supply should be, let me check this. So for the French, their only real concern for supply, this is their supply source. This is on a trunk line. So the only real concern is this. Now in theory I could say all of this is a trunk line, but I could also 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're all in supply. So this is good. Exercise the supply rules. We've just checked that. Basically 14 hexes to a supply source in simple terms, which could be a trunk line. And so now we come back to the reorganization phase because this was a weather check, or the recovery, I'm sorry. The phasing player may attempt recovery, and recovery basically is just you roll against the unit initiative to see if they go to the flipped over to his and moved to the recovered section. I'll use this side of the map as recovered, which means they can be brought back. So let's just work our way through here. We'll start with this guy first. 1. Well, that's really nice. I'll move him over here. He's at reduced strength. I've already flipped him. That's an interesting feature. Not quite sure why I would need to worry about facing. Let's roll for that guy. He didn't make it, so he stays. So let's roll for this guy, Ward. Let's see if Ward comes back. Yes, Ward comes back. And let's see if the artillery unit. Yeah, wow, that was quite successful. So this guy is available, and Beresford didn't make it. This guy's recoverable. Okay, so that is the recovery segment. Then we move to the reorganization segment. And phase player may use eligible leaders to bring eliminated units onto. Okay, so what we have to figure out is when this guy really appears during the turn to see if he can actually bring in, if I read this right, bring in 2 units. Friendly, all units are recovered, may be brought on the map. Leaders are available. Each eligible leader may bring up to 2 combat units. Units are placed in a hex containing the leader. Leaders in an EZOC may not be used. Well, that's good. Officers can only reorganize, for their formation. Units are part of a demoralized, and that we don't have that track. An officer does not have to be in command. Out of command marker for the it doesn't matter in the twilight. So the big thing is, when does this unit replacement come back after being taken out? And if we come here, Cat places counter turn 2 turns into the future. That turn at the start of the command phase. Okay, well, guess what? That's up here, and we're down here, so that means he can bring on 2 units, and the 2 units will be these 2. And we can displace a unit that's already there. So I want to bring on Ward and him. That means this guy needs to be displaced. Well, what better place to displace him than there? And then we bring on Ward and Harding, and he's here. All right. I could roll, well, 4 and 2. They're both from the same unit. They could move together. Okay, let's see what we're going to do here. Alright, just for the sake of gameplay, I'm going to assume, yeah, they're both part of the same unit. They didn't make their initiative roll, so they're there. And that guy didn't either, ironically, so he's here. So that's it. So we have cleaned up, well, we've learned how, we've reviewed supply, and we have now reviewed recovery and reorganization. Okay, so work through there. Then there was no command phase. So now I am going to move into the French turn, and we will pull up the sequence of play here. And it's the next turn. There is no weather segment now. So no supply, no recovery, no units to reorg. Command segment doesn't apply necessarily because everybody is kind of in this gray. I don't know if they're fully out of command. That's a rules question I have to resolve, or whether they just have to roll for initiative to move. There is no command movement segment because of the twilight, like we covered in a previous turn. And now we're at the initiative movement segment. So looking at this, yeah, the French would like to get this victory point hex is going to be tough to get to. They're going to have to swing completely around. While I think Soult should just say everybody piles on going here. If they can advance here, that shuts the door on the road from reinforcement. That'll prevent people from getting there. They could do, actually this is possible with a coup de grace or whatever you want to call it amongst all these units. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't get it now. Let's see if I can get a unit all the way here. That would be the end of the game actually. 1, 2, road movement 3. Oh my goodness. Too bad you've got an initiative of 2. Wow. Alright, gonna start rolling here, just a sec. So we're back. It's I was doing some rules review on road movement over here on the side. The key ones are you can enter road march, column, I assume, and get the road rates. But and there's no cost to enter, but if you leave road march, it costs 1 MP. And if you enter an enemy EZOC, you have to attempt repulse, which you need to at least get a 5 to 1. And there's no stack here can do that. So really the only unit that could maybe get to here is this horse artillery unit. And it all depends on the initiative roll, so oh boy, he got it. So let's see how this works here. I don't think I can put a road march. Well, I'm going to get out, so it doesn't matter. So he's in road march, so he can go 1 to there, 1.5 to there, 2.5, 3.5, 4, and then 5 to get out of road march, and then 6. And that's bad news for this unit, and bad news for this control marker. The British are going to have to do a counterattack, and the French are going to have to try and do an attack. So let's see what we got here for movement. These are all part of the first corps. I would probably roll for these individually, to be honest. Let's see. There was some debate if Foy is here or here. Let's just see if Foy gets to move. Foy is not going anywhere. Okay, let's see if Jardin with a 2. These are not very... Jardin is not going anywhere. This is not looking good. Let's see if this unit can move. Okay, he can move. That's a relief. 1, 2. He'd like to get right here, actually. I think he can do that. Let's see. Yeah, Orchard 2, 3. I think he can do that. Orchard isn't going to cost anything. So, but let's take a look here. Infantry 1 MP. So he is going to go 1, 2, 3. And Crawford is surrounded. Okay, let's keep going here. I think we've got an artillery unit, which isn't very useful. Then we've got these units. Right now I've only got a 2 to 1. So I do want to get more units there. And I could roll all for 1 for a 4, but I don't want to take that chance. So I'm going to 3, 4, 4. So the top unit, the 3 unit, he can move. Oh wow, the only problem is... I think I may move him here. I think they're all the same. Okay, well let's move this guy. He's the 3 unit. Oh, let's just stack him. It doesn't hurt. And then I got a 4 and a 4. Let's see what we get. First one, yes. Second one, no. So he'll move here. I'll have to decide. Well, Salt doesn't matter really much anymore. to be honest. He doesn't need to be part of an attack either. I don't want to risk losing him. So that looks like that's the best we can do. 13, 14 to 3. That's just shy of a 5 to 1. Too bad. Too bad. Okay, let's see what's next. Alright, let's roll for the French right flank. Oh, we're at 15 minutes here. Let's do the all or nothing roll. This will determine if they can attack. I'm going to take the 3 initiative, see if they can get all move. And they can move this turn. So they can at least set up for an attack on this guy. I think I want to put one here, one here. Let's move him here. Well, see, the problem is if they all stick together, they can move. And if I don't get another, I need an attack on here. And I have to hope one of these can get around. I hate to split them up because then they're not going to move again. Now let's move them all here. Okay, that's legal. Let's roll for the Cav. Oh, what a change. He can move. And that gets me the one person not on the stream. Well, wait, hold on. Can he get all the way around? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can. So we're going to take advantage of this while we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's another good position for the French. Let's roll this. He is not going anywhere. Too bad. Well, we're glad we got one of them. Okay, so we do have another surrounded attack here. But that's not getting him closer to the victory point hex here. So he's not moving. Let's see what this... let's see what the Cav unit does. Nope, not going anywhere. Then I got 2 artillery units, both at 3. And looks like I've got this guy too. Alright, let's roll for the first one. He's a 3. Got a 2, so he can move there. Let's roll for that guy. He can, well, putting all our artillery in the town. It's because the cavalry won't move. I think this is the last guy here. He can't move. Okay. So we are done, and let's do a sanity check on, well, the baggage train is fine to the end of the game. I'm thinking I want to move, that's risky. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Solt will move here just to get in a central position, but artillery units aren't the greatest units to stack with. Alright, so that looks good. So they are done moving, and we have 2 attacks. 3 actually. This guy will have to attack him at 1 to 1. And then this will attack him at, not great, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, at least we got the 2 to 1. No, wait. We got the stream. This guy, oh, that just blew up in our face. It looks like a pair of 1 to 1s. Alright, let's do the attacks here so we don't let the recording get too long. This attack, I don't get that. I mean, that he doesn't add anything. So we got 13. So that's 4 to 1. We do have a 4 to 1 here. No modifiers. This does exert Zoc, and that's what we're after. So I think, well, I'm not going to say we're okay, but let's see what we get for 4 to 1. DR, that's right about all we needed. So Crawford comes over here. But now the question is, I know I had that debate on advance after combat. These 2 could advance here. Well, let's shut the door. I can only... Wow. See, I'm going to play it that they're not out of command, so they can still advance. The only difference, according to the rules, is, and you can see that discussion and I could be wrong here. There is no command movement segment, so units can still be in command and out of command. So I'm going to assume that they're in command and only one unit can advance, and it'll be this guy. So they are in position to, well, the British are going to have to do a counterattack here to push them back. That's going to be tight. We come over here. Let's look at this. I guess there should have been a command segment where we figure out who's out of command and who's not. Let's see. Yeah, I'll say no advance after combat there. Let's see. So then we've got a pair. Well, he has to attack at 1-to-1, but I got to do this attack first. And because I didn't get the second cav unit, they're attacking across the stream. Defender 1.5 have attacked only through stream. So they're 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. It is a 1-to-1. So we've got a pair of 1-to-1s here. Don't know if that was a good idea. Let's see. The main attack here, because I got to maintain the Zox. That's appropriately a shock. And we have 4 versus 3. The French are not in the best position. There are modifiers though. I think it was something like if it's 3-to-1. Yeah, and it wasn't 3-to-1. So it's a straight roll off. So the French get 3 plus 4, and the Brits get, ouch, 10. Off the scale. That is an AR2. Holy smoke. Can't roll any better than that. Yeah, 4 and 6 is 10. That takes me all the way off here. And the French are 4. So, let's see. AR2 for these guys. And they have to retreat towards their supply source. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That attack was not good. Looks like this whole attack on this wing is falling apart. The K can go here, because that's still going there. So now we've got a 1-to-1 here. Ooh, France, this is falling apart. Well, it's an AR, so he can go here. Well, he's got no choice. He can't go there, can't go there. He's got to go there. So they are solidly repulsed over here. Unfortunately, they are making a move over here, which could be a problem. Alright, so kind of fudge some of the rules there. And then my interpretation on out of command. Yeah, I don't think here. All it is there's no command segment. All movement is done via initiative. But it doesn't say anything that units are out of command, meaning they can't advance after combat. So I'm going to... that's critical here, because if this unit couldn't have advanced, then the British could mount a defense of 1. And if they won, they would have slid right here and blocked this. So now with this repulse, this is it. This is where it's all going to be. And the British need to get some units with initiative to swing over here and counterattack this during their turn. So, alright, that is the end of the French turn. Eventful. This was looking like a big rolling up the flank attack, but Fane here held the line. Good job. Unfortunately, some French units were able to slip around the line here, and now they're close to achieving this. I can see why this is. Put some artillery here, and you pretty much control the harbor. I don't know what kind of artillery the French have, so I see that's why that's a victory hex. All right, gone long enough here. So if you've lasted this long, thanks for listening, and we will see you at the next turn, the British turn, to see if they can deal with what's going on over here on their left, well, their non-existent left flank at this point. So, see you at the next recording.